Hello, my name is Samantha and this video is for the class General Chemistry 1 at Doane University. The assignment that I will be completing in this video is the Interactive Advanced Concept Presentation number 8. In this video, I will be discussing phase changes and how they can be provoked by cooling water to the point of phase change. The materials that I'll be using are almost frozen bottles of water, which are these right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Glass with ice in it, and then an empty glass as well. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to first rub off the condensation on this one, and then I'm going to show you one phase change. So if you kind of hit, I don't know if you saw that, but if you could, you can activate the phase change in here by hitting the bottle of water. I don't know if you saw that, but it changed the inside. I wonder if I can see on this one. That one you saw a little bit more. So the inside changed to, like, you can see that it kind of had a little bit of ice in it now. And okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open one of these water bottles off camera, and I'm going to place some of the water into one of these glasses. Okay, so I opened one of the water bottles, and I'm going to place some of the water in here. And then, first of all, you can see that this is one of the ones that I activated. You can see that the inside is like slushy, kind of. So that's what happened when I activated it by like causing energy on it, so pushing on it. So we have that water in here, and then I'm going to take an ice cube and I'm going to put it into the water and then see what happens. Let's see. Oops. So that didn't work. What should have happened is that you should have been able to see the water change phases and it to spread the ice out. That didn't work, so I'm going to open another bottle of water real quick, off camera. Okay, open another bottle of water, and I'm gonna pour it over this ice and see if we can see any change or anything. So you can kind of see it on that back ice cube back there, where it kind of has elevated. You can see it on this corner. So it has elevated a bit because as I was pouring the water over, the water was changing its phase and adding some height to that ice. I'm going to pour this water back over this ice, and I'm going to try again with another water bottle to see if we can try and get an ice cube to react. So I'm going to put the ice cube into the water, see what happens. So that didn't work either. Pour some more of the water. out, but you can see that when I is another one of the water bottles that I activated when I squeezed it. You can see that it's kind of like slushy in there. Yeah. So that went through phase change. What you should have seen occurring in all of this experience with the cold water is the water going through a point of phase change. You saw that in the first part of the experiment that I did when I squeezed the water bottle, and it changed from liquid to more of like this slushy consistency. But when I put the ice cube into the water, it didn't go through phase change as it should have. And same with then when I poured the water over the ice cubes, it went through a little bit of phase change, but not as much as I would have suspected. When water goes through changes in phases of the water cycle, the amount of particles of water stays the same. The different changes of state that water can go through are deposition, sublimation, evaporation, melting, condensation, and freezing. In this experiment, we saw the phase change of freezing with this part. And the reason why we see that when the ice is supposed to touch the water, the water is supposed to freeze, and because the bottled water is super cooled, and then to the point of almost freezing. So when you put the ice cube into the water, it's supposed to freeze. It's supposed to jumpstart the freezing phase. Ice cubes are supposed to act as the kickstart in order to set off the freezing phase in the super cooled water of the water bottle. This process is known as nucleation, which is the process by which crystallization initially occurs. The kickstart for this process to occur could be either a shock, which is what you saw at the very beginning when I squeezed the water bottles, or introducing an already frozen element to the supercooled water, which would have been the ice cubes. Overall, I think that this experiment was partially successful. I believe that part of it did fail, but this part, when I squeezed the water bottle, did show phase change accurately into the freezing phase of water. But the ice cube part did fail, and then when I poured the water over the ice cubes, it partially failed. What could have happened was when I so I used some of the water bottles that I already had kick-started with the shock, so that could have affected the molecules inside of the water, and it could have made it so that the water surrounding it couldn't have been kick-started anyways. Also, I could have let the water bottle melt too much, and it could have been at too high of a temperature in order for an ice cube to kickstart the freezing phase. Or I could have just not had enough of the ice cubes in order to cause the kickstart of the almost frozen water. These could have all been reasons why my experiment failed in that aspect, but I do believe that the initial part of me kickstarting the water bottle with the squeezing action, that was successful. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.